you're new here, my name is Jules and I'm the dancing advocate. Now, over the few past, oh, over the few past, what is that? By the way, I am tired.
Sometimes I'm mystery, sometimes I'm free, depending on my mood or my attitude. Sometimes I wanna roll or stay at home, walking contradiction.
Hi guys, welcome back to my space. If you're new here, my name is Jules and I'm the dancing advocate. Over the past few videos, I have been talking about my journey to emotional well-being and talking about how to deal with trauma and my different traumatic experiences and how I am learning to deal with them, get over them, and eventually just let them go. My most previous video was about letting shit go. Yeah, I felt like we have reached that age where we just need to let things go, whether it's stuff that happened in your childhood or stuff that happened in your recent past. Like we just need to be sitting down, figuring out how we feel about these things, and then eventually letting them go. That is after dealing with them. Yeah. So today I'd like to talk about something that we most times don't do for ourselves. Something that has made me realize that even before we begin a journey to emotional well-being or just embarking on different journeys, whether it's physical fitness, whether it's mental wellness, if any of these journeys need you as an individual, as a human being, to have this trait towards yourself. This is self-compassion. Yeah. um, I find that most times as human beings, as a people, we are very hard on ourselves. We're very unkind to ourselves. We freely give out compassion. We freely give out compassion. We're quick to be kind to others. We're quick to be cheerleaders to others, but we don't do these things for ourselves. You're hard on yourself, you're constantly criticizing yourself, you're constantly putting yourself down, looking for your flaws, dwelling on them and your failures, and just being an ass to yourself, for lack of a better word. So today I'd like to talk about that. I feel that we, before you embark on any journey, whatever it is, you need to learn to be compassionate to yourself. Okay? You need to learn to be kinder to yourself. You need to learn to criticize yourself less. Um, and I'm not saying now that you don't criticize or you don't check yourself. It's just that now, even if you're checking yourself, you need to do it with a lot of kindness. I will begin with what I feel or what I think self compassion is. I think it's just being kinder to yourself. It's criticizing yourself less and just being kind when you notice your flaws or when you fail or when you're going through something. Yeah. When you're in the pits of pits, what you do towards yourself. Yeah. That's what I feel self compassion is. So when are you supposed to be compassionate to yourself? I feel like you should be compassionate to yourself every time. And especially when you're in the lowest of lows. Because you find most people, there are people who don't even do certain things. Like you won't go through a fitness journey, or you won't take up a new job or a new assignment because you feel like you'll fail, or you feel like you won't be good enough, and then now you're constantly just pushing yourself in a negative way, and then you find yourself just drifting off because then you've just what is the word? You have, yes, you have programmed your mind. Sorry. Yeah. So you find that you have programmed your mind to think that you'll constantly fail, to think that these are your flaws and you dwell on those flaws, to think that you will always be this person that is negative. And so, because now you've programmed yourself to think that way, you will find it difficult to be kind to yourself. Yeah. And I don't know if it's, sometimes I think it's just the way we're built as humans. We, like in my previous video I said, we concentrate more on the negative than we do on the positive. We dwell more on it. And so this is something that just goes in line with that, because you'll find yourself constantly criticizing yourself because you're just thinking, okay, yeah, but I tried, or I went on a fitness journey before and it didn't work. So I might as well just sit here and eat and not do anything about it. I'm not going to exercise because it's not going to help me. And so it's not going to change anything. So I might as well just keep at it, because you know what? My body is going to be like this forever, or I'm not going to take up the new assignment that is being offered because I don't think I can get promoted, because probably so and so is better than I am, or I'm not going to play basketball because I'm too short, or I'm not going to walk the runway because I'm too short, or because I feel like my body type is not the same as so and so. So we will dwell on those things because we are, I feel like sometimes maybe it's easier to dwell on the negative and not do anything about it, more than to work on something. Yeah. To work on a flaw, to work on something that you failed on before. It's always easier to just be like, you know what, let's just brush, put it to the side for a bit. You put it aside and then you don't work on it. And even if it's something that you can work on, you're just like, yeah, no, not today. Yeah, we can try that next year, maybe, and so I feel like we need to practice self-compassion every other day. I watched something the other day, thanks to a friend of mine, hey Min. Yeah, and it's what now brought about me wanting to talk about self-compassion, because yes, you go on all these different journeys, but you forget that you actually just need to be kind to yourself. And it was a podcast for Jay Shetty, and he had a clinical psychologist on, and they were just talking about how very often we as human beings find it very hard to just be positive towards ourselves. You will dwell on the negative stuff. You will constantly remember those bad things that happened to you, the bad things that make you who you are today, but you find it difficult to just be kind. You will find yourself unpacking a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. You'll unpack things. You unpack even memories, and most times things are negative things, and you will need to know how to deal with them and how to comfort yourself or care for yourself during that period. Yeah, because it's going to be a hard time if it's a journey on to I mean a journey towards physical fitness. You wake up one morning and you're just like, I can't do it anymore, and you're tired, and you're just thinking, I'm not going to go see this trainer, or I'm not going to go to the gym, or I'm not going to eat right. I'm going to go to the supermarket and buy all the junk food that I need to buy. And you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. On those days, you need to learn or know how you're going to deal with that situation. Or you wake up and you feel that the new job that you've gotten, you're not sure, or you don't feel like you're good enough for it, or you don't feel like you're up to the task, but you need to figure out how you're going to care for yourself and comfort yourself at that point in time. Yeah. The one question I would like to put out there, or for you to ask yourself constantly, or for you to just think of, is this: if this is a difficult time, how can I better care for myself? How can I be kinder to myself? Yeah, I'm going through something, or I have failed in something, I have this flaw, I have something that probably may not go away, but how can I be kinder to myself? How can I care for myself? And how can I comfort myself? All right. Constantly ask yourself that when you're going through something, or even before you decide that you want to do something about your life or something in your life. If you say, okay, I want to start going to the gym, or I want to learn a new skill, I want to embark on a new assignment, it may sometimes it may go well, yeah, through and through, but there are days it's going to be really hard. So what are you going to do on those days? Are you going to sit down and dwell on the negative things and be like, oh, not good enough, I probably will never be able to clear this assignment, I probably won't be as good and so at this, so I might as well not do it. I feel that there are three things you need to practice with regard to self compassion. Um, that is kindness, not isolating yourself, and mindfulness. So you find that most times we are quick to criticize more than we are to be kind. So when someone is going through something and you yourself, you're in that position, you will quickly criticize and be like, yeah, this and this is wrong, this and this is wrong. She has this flaw, or I have this flaw and I'm dwelling on it. But then you forget to just be warm and understanding to yourself. Yeah. Um, like I said, what you have is what you will give off. So if you're constantly unkind, constantly criticizing yourself, that's what you'll give off to others. You'll find it very difficult to give of what you don't have. Yeah, so it also helps with now how you will treat people around you. Yeah, so one, just to be kind. Simply put, just to be kind. You need to understand that you will have certain flaws, you will fail in certain ways, you may fail more than you succeed, but you just need to learn to be kind. So you just need to understand, okay, these things will happen, they do happen. I'll get disappointed by people. I'll get disappointed by myself. I may do things that may disappoint me, or look back and just be like, what the hell was I thinking? But you just need to understand, yes, these things will happen. And so, how can I be caring to myself, right? The second one I said was just not isolating yourself. You find that most times when people realize that they have failed, or they have certain flaws, or they're going through something, you tend to keep away from others, because in your head you're just like, I'm the only one who's going through these things, or I'm the only one who has his flaws, or I'm the only one who doesn't know how to do this and that. You don't realize that everybody at some point in their life may have those same problems. And if you would just sit down and maybe talk to someone and be like, oh, you know what, the other day this and this happened, or the other day I tried to do this at work, but it failed. So how can I, like, how can I better myself? How can I um fix what fix that failure? Or can I get some help in embarking on this journey of, let's say, mental wellness? Like, do I need to sit down and talk to a therapist? Or you find yourself isolating and swimming and drowning in your problems, just because you fear that there'll be a lot of judgment out there, and you don't realize that everybody is going through problems. And the one thing we often do is downplaying our problems, because you always feel that, oh, so and so probably has bigger problems, so and so is probably having it harder than I am, and so I shouldn't complain. I feel that we need to acknowledge these things. You need to acknowledge that, yes, I have a flaw, or yes, I'm going through this and this, and I am unhappy and I feel like shit. But you just also just need to be kind to yourself. So now you don't cocoon because you're going through things or you have certain flaws. You would rather just sit with others and find out, because hey, sometimes a problem shared is a problem half solved, I guess. Is that the thing? I know there's something about sharing and solving, but yeah. So that is kindness, not isolating, and finally mindfulness. So with mindfulness, it's just being aware, acknowledging that these are the things that are going on around me. We tend to suppress our emotions. The same thing I was saying in the previous point about how we downplay. So you suppress your emotions. You don't want to show people that, hey, yo, I'm going through these things, or I'm unhappy, or I failed in something. But then now, the moment you suppress them, you don't even work on them. You don't think to be like, okay, how can I fix this, or how can I deal with it? Yeah. So there's of course the act of being mindful, but then sometimes you can go a bit overboard and over identify, where you now it's just, in people's faces, like, yeah, I'm going through these things, and to hell with the rest of you, and you all need to understand that I'm going through these things. And of course, there's now the negative side to that, where you're in people's faces and just constantly, this is me, these are my problems, and I don't care about the rest of you, and chill. Just calm down. So you just need to be calm, chill, and yes, acknowledge that these are the things, these are the flaws. Acknowledge that, yes, there's a point that things may not go my way, but I need to be okay with it. And at the same time, I need to deal with it in a kinder, more caring manner towards myself. So, this is what I'm trying to say. Whatever journey you choose to embark on, you need to learn first to be kinder to yourself. Just learn to practice self compassion. It could be on a daily basis. You wake up and have look in the mirror and just put out good things out there, and be more caring to yourself. If you feel like you're having a bad day, feel that, soak in the emotion, and then, you know what, like, today I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to sit and chill, then I will deal with it tomorrow. Just know what things you need to do to be kinder towards yourself, to be more caring towards yourself, to treat yourself like the way you would want others to treat you. Yeah, because we're very quick to be like, oh, go you, you can do this, you're everything, you're enough, nini nini. But you don't tell those conversations to yourself. Like in the morning, you wake up and you're just like, oh, who is this person? You don't remember to sit and just be like, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're amazing, you're good at what you do, and today you're going to conquer. As simple as that. It could be something so small, but it changes your whole day, it changes your whole week. Yeah. So again, be kinder to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, learn to take care of yourself, because then when you don't do these things, now that's what brings in self-esteem issues. That's what makes you start thinking that you're not good enough, that you'll never be enough for the people around you. So practice self-compassion so that you can have good self-esteem and you can love yourself just a little bit more. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will link the previous videos down below. If you haven't watched them, please go ahead and do that, and don't forget to live, love, and dance.